Welcome to Turtle WoW News with Vrograg. I'm your news anchor orc, Vrograg Fishslayer, here to bring you all the news for the week of February 20th, 2024. I'm still experimenting with different ways to give you the news, so strap in, because I have no idea what I'm doing. Let's get to it. I'm the orc, and here's the news. Honestly, there wasn't much news as far as the server went this week, and I was away for the weekend, but I thought I'd take this time to mention some of the neat, smaller stories that are worthy of attention. First off, Turtle WoW radio team produced a special skit that I teased a little bit last week. The Love is in the Air holiday special premiered, which was of course a dating show. If you missed it, you're in luck, because the skit is now available to the Turtle WoW Radio YouTube page. It features the lovely, if not a little ditzy, night elf Athuniviel interviewing 3 eligible bachelors, a Tauren, a Forsaken, and a Gnome. Hilarity ensues, of course. Make sure to show your support for these creative efforts by the team. Plus, Turtle WoW News' own Murog makes her voice acting debut in the show. I'll leave links for the radio station's YouTube page, which also has an archive of other radio programs in the description below. You can enjoy other programs like Living in the Past and some studious lore readings by the other voice actors of the team, for all of you to enjoy. Speaking of the radio, yours truly was also interviewed by the host of Living in the Past as part of last Friday's programming. I'd like to thank Dan for taking time to interview me and help promote the news show. It was great getting to talk about the server direction, my own inspirations, and just having joy for the game. In case you missed it, or you're dying to know exactly how neutral a journalist is willing to be about thousand-year-old conflicts, you should be able to listen to the unabridged version of the interview when it is posted to the Turtle WoW Radio YouTube channel in a week or two. In actual game news, I was sent a video of a bold horde team on Telebim, showing what they called a practice run while raiding and assassinating a few Alliance faction leaders. No doubt, the attacks will have reprisals from the Alliance, but it is great to see players excited about the prospect of faction leader loot enough to start practicing the tactics and techniques needed to do so. While Telebim remains a smaller server by population, the spirit of World PvP seems to be alive and well over in Bananaland. City raids have happened before and will likely happen again, but recently, perhaps a first-of-its-kind phenomenon took place. Friend of the show, Shockwarden, as part of the Naxxramas raid team, successfully tanked Patchwork as a shaman. To the uninitiated, shaman tanking is difficult to pull off even on Turtle WoW. Shamans don't benefit from the multitude of defensive cooldowns that warriors have, nor the comfort of plate armor like paladins, nor even the shape-shifting armor buff like druid tanks. They don't even have a taunt. All a shaman tank has is a lot of threat, some mail armor, a shield, and a dream of not dying. An infographic provided by Shockwarden, after another member of the Nater team tipped me off about the story, shows that the plucky shaman dodged 36% of the attacks by the hard-hitting boss. By the end of the fight, it was clear that a shaman's mitigation kit was just barely enough to withstand the enrage phase, one time taking a whopping 5,800 damage from a poorly timed crit. But Shockwarden held on. Of course, any great tanking effort would not be possible without the heroic healing efforts, and Angelor the Priest, Shakes the Resto Shaman, and Christiana, the Shadow Priest, comprised the supporting cast. Congratulations to Shockwarden and all of Nater for pushing the envelope on what is possible with enough hard work and dedication. You're all heroes of the week to me. To round out top news, I'm reporting that the Blackwing Guard's second birthday party was a complete success. While many who joined, guilty or not, were in the festive mood, it seems all the celebrating and perhaps a certain loudmouthed orc's boasting of victory over the Black Dragonflight did seem to trigger a sudden assault, whether it was from the dark magics of Nefarian or some dark allies of Blackrock Mountain. The guild base was assaulted by some creature who took many forms, not the least of which was Onyxia herself. Blackwing Guard, which has for years worked on rehabilitating corrupted black dragon whelps, was aided in fending off BlackRock's magic by the very same whelps they helped to rehabilitate. Following a successful counterattack, the party met back up once again in Dustwallow Marsh to make sure Onyxia was well and truly dead for now. Well done, Blackwing Guard. Here's to another year of spawn camping Nefarian. That rounds out top news. Let's go take a gander at the auction house with Market Watch. Welcome to Market Watch, the best and worst market show for Turtle WoW, because it is the only one. All our data is gathered from numbers provided by wowauctions.net. Make sure to use their website for all of your own market data research and investment due diligence. First to Telebim. The Alliance S&V 200 has trended up 20% this last month, though recently has lost some steam. The Horde Major Index has grown slightly more, trending up 25% and is showing less signs of slowing down. Across the board, many of either faction's indexes seem to be in step despite small variations. There was marked difference between them with respect to the Essence and Elements Index, however. The Alliance version trended down 18% to finish at 4.1, while the Horde Index for the same materials grew 37%, playing catch-up and ending the month at 3.3. Upon closer inspection, it is no surprise that the culprit for such imbalance is the elemental fire commodity. For the Alliance, despite a sudden surge around the 5th, the item has trended mostly flat, staying around the 1.5 gold price point. For the Horde though, this item trended up 125% and is currently a half a gold more expensive. This, no doubt, is influenced by differing experiences in raid content between the two factions, since elemental fire is a reagent for greater fire protection potions. Over on Northernar, the S&V 200 continues showing strength, trending up 10%, closing the month at 9.3. The cause for this steady, sustained growth is certainly not obvious. Herbalism is down 10%, fishing fell 16%, and tailoring lost a few percent. The bright spots that supported this growth last month were enchanting and mining. Enchanting trended up 15% and had a major rally on the 3rd as well, ending the period at 4.3. While looking closer, it seems that most enchanting reagents traded flat or lost slivers of value, like Dream Dust and Greater Eternal Essence. The real force behind the enchantment growth came through an unexpected source. Small Radiant Shards, who trended up 78% and now trade above 2 gold, 50 silver. Mining's recent growth is nothing to sneeze at either. For such a diverse index, a month of 18% trending growth is noticeable indeed. From the lower level Copper's 50% price increase, Mithril's 54% bump, to Thorium's 80% climb, many parts of the mining industry appreciated. But it's not just metals either. Gems, like the Azerothian diamonds, showed great volatility and demand, and huge emeralds shocked auction house buyers on the 6th during a buying frenzy that sent it to 10,000% of its normal price. So it's clear to see that demand from the market for mining goods is growing, while the supply is getting low enough for price appreciation. That's all the time we have for Market Watch today. I hope you found some of the information here useful. Make sure to use wowauctions.net for all of your own market research. Remember to keep an eye on your coin, otherwise someone else will for you. Let's get back to the news. To round out today's program, we'll take a deeper look into February 13th changelog with the weekly changelog roundup. One curious change was fixing hardcore players not being automatically removed from their guild. Though a mortal character who dies has a limited amount of time to haunt chats before they can never return again, GitHub user Sayonahiri pointed out that hardcore deaths also provided an auto guild kick, which is unfortunate for those wondering about the fate of their fallen comrade, who never got to say goodbye, before creating a new character and doing it all over again. The changelog adjusted the various engineering-made Dragonling battle pets. The matter was posted about on GitHub by Esteban Failsmore, who readily pointed out how the mechanical and mithril variants seem to do way less damage than expected. Fortunately, the team looked into the matter and buffed the attacks of all 3 Dragonlings, but not before correcting what seems to be a health bug for the mechanical version. You win some, and you lose some. The newly tameable bats available in the Gilneas region were found to not be working correctly as hunter pets by Wormswort. This has since been fixed and should allow hunters a new buddy for their Gilneas adventures. Previous week's changelogs have endeavored to change how rich thorium veins and regular thorium veins appear in the world. However, it seems to have not stuck yet, and on this changelog, another attempt was made. Hopefully, it starts working as intended, because the prices on thorium are actually going up. Some changes not published by users on GitHub included aggressive changes being made to certain instances to prevent pathing exploits in Scarlet Monastery and Blackrock Depths. Perhaps the most scary change was made to Meixna, the spider boss in Naxxramas, who, if now kited outside of her web-filled room, will automatically enrage. I'm sure exploiters were the most surprised of all to find that out. To finish off the changelog, one item of import, the Wing of the Time Lord, had its haste, agility, and strength and stamina reduced, so that a reputation grind cloak wouldn't be outperforming tier 3 level cloaks. That completes the changelog roundup for this week. Make sure to check Discord and the forums for this week's changelog so you can keep on top of all the latest adjustments coming to Turtle WoW. Well, that's all the time we have for the news today. I'd like to thank you all for taking time to watch the news program. I hope you found the information useful. Make sure to drop by and catch the weekly Fish and Chat stream this Saturday, noon US East Coast time. If you like this content and want to support me, make sure to like and subscribe. If you're feeling generous, Super Chats should be enabled on the channel as well. My comments, DMs, and emails are always open for feedback, constructive criticism, and any news items you'd like to share. All the ways to reach me should be in the description of the video. It's about time for me to head out. Hope you're enjoying my various experiments on how I do these news broadcasts. I'm having fun at least. I hope to see you all next time. Whatever you're doing, make sure to have fun, be safe, and as always, remember, the deadliest weapon is knowledge.